Hey everybody, welcome back to Jackson Jet Setting. Here we are on the tips and tricks video, Wonder of the Seas edition. I just got back from my 7-night voyage on the Wonder of the Seas. I had an amazing time, and I have been sailing Royal Caribbean a whole bunch over the last 3 years. I have a lot of direct ways to save money and time on your Royal Caribbean vacation. I'm gonna tailor this video specific to Wonder of the Seas. Some of the tips and tricks I might give are kind of more Royal Caribbean in general, but hopefully it's all useful. If you love this type of content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. And if you get through this video and you're like, Mark, that was a lot to remember, I'd rather have you just plan my trip for me. Well, guess what? I can. Reach out to Mark Jackson at jacksonjetsetting.com and I'm going to help you plan your next cruise vacation on the Wonder of the Seas, or really any ship at sea. The Wonder of the Seas is a massive vessel, so there's going to be almost 8,000 passengers on board with you if it's completely sold out. My first tip is to plan far in advance as much as you can. Booking your trip 1 or 2 years out is going to get you the best pricing typically, and these ships are selling out. Cruising is very popular in 2024, let me tell you. So once you do book, download that Royal Caribbean app, make sure that your reservation is linked to your account, and then you can start booking things to do on the ship, shore excursions, that sort of thing. My biggest advice to people is to book something that you like. If the price is right, perfect. If that price drops later, you can actually cancel and rebook completely free. So Royal Caribbean does have frequent sales, especially around holiday times like Black Friday and Christmas. So just keep that in mind that if you see a price that you like, book it, and just know that as long as you cancel and rebook before your cruise, you'll be able to save a lot of money. The Royal Caribbean app is going to help you get on board pretty quickly. They have a nice set sail pass that you can add to your Apple Wallet or Android Wallet. You know, I don't have an Android, so whatever they call it over there, you can add it to it. It makes it nice and easy and scannable for people, and you're on board lickety-split. About 2 months before your cruise, you will be able to book shows and entertainment on board. I do recommend trying to nail that date down. It's not really clear exactly when they open up, but it's around 60 days. Just try and book pretty early on in that process because there are a lot of people on board that do want to see the shows as well, and that way you can kind of start planning your vacation beforehand and not miss any of the great entertainment. They have the Effectors 2 on board, which is a stage show that utilizes drones. That's pretty cool. Lots of technology in these shows. You got the Aqua Theater show with all the high diving and all the acrobatics. That's fun. The ice skating show. Comedians can always be hard to book because the venue is pretty small. Just know that they do a lot of shows during your cruise, so you will be able to see them if you want to. Now on board, there are a lot of complimentary dining options that is included in your cruise fare. You have the main dining room open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner on sea days, usually breakfast and dinner on other days. It really just depends. Check your app for the exact schedule, but that's all included in your cruise. So you're gonna have water, teas, I think lemonade. That's all included in your cruise fare as well. Alcoholic beverages, sodas, that sort of thing, those are chargeable to your ship account. You can get the beverage package, of course, though those have been raised in price recently. Just do the math a little bit and see if you really need the drink package. I'm just saying. There's also Sorrento's up on the Royal Promenade and Cafe Promenade. Those are complimentary options. You got El Loco Fresh up on the pool deck. That's a great Mexican restaurant that's open a lot of the day. You got the Park Cafe on the Central Park. And then you even have Johnny Rockets for breakfast, which is pretty cool. That's a secret. Another secret is the Solarium Bistro, which a lot of people don't find. It was a little busy on my cruise, but it was sold out. The Solarium Bistro is definitely my pick over the Windjammer, which is the most famous of the complimentary options. For sure, the famous Windjammer buffet, so you can go in there, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and enjoy pretty tasty food. Now, Royal Caribbean is going to try and squeeze every dollar out of you. And so there are a lot of specialty dining restaurants on board that do cost a little extra, and they are quite enticing. For me, I always like to get the unlimited dining package. For me, on my cruise, 7 nights, I paid $249. Was able to get a specialty dining restaurant each evening of my cruise. There's 7 specialty dining venues on board, plus some a la carte areas. So you can get that, and you can also get lunch on embarkation day and your 2 sea days. Some cruises have 3 sea days, so you would get it every sea day, basically. It's a great deal, and I love the specialty restaurants. Some of my favorites are Chops, of course, 150 Central Park, and then on the Wonder of the Seas, I really did love Hooked, which is the seafood restaurant. For excursions and saving money and time, if you book through the ship, you may actually save money. They do a lot of specials now. I feel like they've really lowered the price on a lot of excursions. They were losing out a lot of revenue to people on shore, so they've kind of undercut themselves a little bit there, which is good to see as a customer for sure. That way, if you book a official excursion, you're not going to ever miss the ship. That's kind of one of the perks of booking on board. It charges to your shipboard account. You don't need to bring cash on shore unless you have something else that you'd like to buy on shore, so that's pretty nice. So it's very convenient, and the ship organizes everything. They tell you where to go, so it's super easy. You can book a lot of things on your own, however, especially in places like Cozumel that just have a ton of cruise ships in there every day. So you can always do some research on forums online and kind of make your own way, or you don't have to book an excursion at all, and you can just walk around the cities and ports that the ship visits and have a grand old time that way too. In terms of cabin selection, so I had an inside cabin on this cruise. I loved my inside cabin, but on the Oasis class ships, they do have inside cabins that overlook the Royal Promenade, which is kind of an indoor view. And then I've even had an inside cabin, that actually had an outdoor view. Funny enough, they sold some rooms above the boardwalk with even a partial ocean view, funny enough, and it was an inside cabin. So I love that cabin for sure. But a lot of people are going to want the balconies, and just one thing to be careful about on the Oasis class ships is there are several categories of balconies. You of course have the traditional ocean view balcony, which is going to be the most popular option. Highly recommend booking those because it's got great ocean views. But there are two interior facing balconies, one that overlooks the Central Park and then ones that overlook the boardwalk. And I will say it's good to get some fresh air, but the ones especially in the boardwalk are going to be quite loud because you're going to be overlooking that aqua theater and all the activity on the boardwalk. It's going to be loud a lot of the day, so just keep that in mind before you take the very much cheaper boardwalk balcony option and the Central Park balcony options. And finally, I did want to close out this video on ways to save money on the ship. So booking in advance is a good way to do that. Booking through a travel agent can save you money a lot of times too, because you're going to get some onboard credit a lot of the times, not all the time, but definitely something to look out for and to ask for when you're booking. You're not going to get that by booking directly through Royal Caribbean most of the time. So that's a cool perk. And you don't have to wait until you're on board to spend it. You can actually use it towards shore excursions that you book in the app beforehand, or maybe the internet package. So just keep that in mind. The beverage package is really expensive. It's typically over $70 a day now. It really kind of varies in price depending on the cruise that you book. You're going to have to drink a lot throughout your 7-night voyage to make that worth it. I know a lot of people just kind of like the stress-free pay one price up front and just be done with it. I definitely get that, but just keep that in mind. If you're a value cruiser, if you're someone who's like, I wonder if I can outdrink the drink package, that might be true, but you might slow down on day 5, 6, or 7. So overall, I really loved my time on board the Wonder of the Seas. I do highly recommend booking it. It's the second newest ship with Royal Caribbean at this point, so everything's fresh and new, and it has some very nice ports that it goes on alternating weeks. So I did love my time on board, and I can't wait to go back. Thanks a lot for watching, and enjoy the rest of my channel.